Right, welcome to Football Family Feuds. Doing this video, I don't like doing videos when we lose, but I have to put in my match review. I didn't watch the match live. I just finished watching it. I already knew the result, and when you know the result and you have to torture yourself through watching the match, it's just not good. But Chelsea are the gift that keeps on giving. 2 weeks ago, West Ham came to us after a poor run of results. They were losing games, and not only losing games, they were just conceding goals for fun. They come to Stamford Bridge. Not only did they beat us, they kept a clean sheet as well. Everton, similar, 3 defeats on the bounce. But as I said, with my weekly wish, I said, I hope they don't turn into prime Real Madrid or Barcelona today. And what do? They put in a resolute performance. They were everyone was playing for each other. You could see that they were putting bodies in the line, closing down the space, pressing hard, and they made it difficult for us. Goodison Park is the ground that we struggle at anyway, but they definitely played for Duncan Ferguson today. But having said that, once again, our football, we are our own worst enemies. Every single game this season where we've lost, it's been self-inflicted. I can't think of a game in defeat. Probably the Liverpool one was the only one maybe where, no, even the Liverpool game, I think there was a mistake for leading up to one of their goals. But all the other games that we've lost this season were avoidable. Against Manchester United, you think about the penalty that Kurt Zuma gave away when we were on top. The Man City game the other week, we were 1-0 up. We gifted them 2 goals. The West Ham game, first half we threw away chances. In the first half we weren't clinical enough. And today's game we saw gifted goals. All 3 goals were avoidable goals. And again, not clinical enough in the final third. And that's the story of our season, We've been getting away with it, we've been winning some games, but we haven't been putting teams to bed. In my match review against Aston Villa, the last game gone, I did mention right at the end is we're going to get punished one day if we don't start putting away our chances. And I didn't think it was going to be as soon as the Everton game, but unfortunately it's come true what I've just said. And weren't clinical enough. It's an end product. I don't know where to start with this because it's just ridiculous. Willian, I'll get onto Willian later, but let's talk about the goals first. First goal, 5 minutes in. That's the first thing you do. Everton's just got a new manager. You don't want them to score early. It gives the players a lift. It gives the supporters a lift, and it gives them confidence for the rest of the game. So what do? First of all, I think it was a Reece James throw-in and the ball was easily given away. I think it was Kante maybe. Azpilicueta comes with his man. He's not a left-back. He's played here before, but is instinctive. I saw that in the last game as well. He tries to come more infield and there's lots of space left on the left-hand side. So he's come in, he's followed his man. There's no communication between him and Kurt Zuma. Kurt Zuma should have probably said, I'll take the man, you go out to stop the cross. Nobody there to stop the cross. Sidibe, I think it was, had a cross. He had a free cross, so it was an easy cross to make. But even after the cross was put in, Christensen, what are you doing? He didn't even jump. So Richarlison's coming on a run. If Christensen jumps, he's not getting that clean header. Yeah, even if he doesn't make the header, if he jumps, that header is more difficult. So it's maybe a header going over the bar rather than going into the net. He's too weak, and I've said it before. I've said it time and time again. This guy is too weak to play in the Premiership. He should go back to Germany. He'll do well in Germany. It's not as physical, but every time he plays, he gets bullied. He's just too weak. He's not strong. He's not good enough. I'm sorry. So obviously they score a goal from that. Confidence is high, but then we still had chances to get back into the game in the first half. And I could talk about a lot of the chances, but the one I want to focus on is that Willian one. Guy is brain dead. I'm sorry. Works. He's got lots of work rate. Yeah, commend him for his work rate. He's even got a trick or two. Yeah, but when it comes to that final ball, he's been found wanting way too many times, and I'm just sick of it now. What's his name? Keane makes a mistake and he gives the ball to Willian. It's a simple pass to Abraham. All he has to do is knock it to Abraham, bang, 1-1. What does he do? Overhits the pass. Not only that, the ball comes back to him again, so he's got another chance. I think it was to play Mountain. What does he do? Overhits that pass as well. Overhitting one pass, yeah, 2 passes in a matter of seconds is criminal. And that's the thing I think about Willian. He just doesn't know how to put a weight of pass, a good weight of pass. He's either under-hitting it or over-hitting it. If it's just now and again, then I could say fair enough. But he does that time and time again. When I'm watching it with Zane, I keep saying to him, oh, Willian's done another hospital ball. He didn't know what hospital ball meant. I had to explain to him what hospital ball meant. It's one of these ones that can get a player injured because it's under-hit. And he just does that every single game. He puts in about 5 or 6, where it's easy to find a player where he's under-hit it or over-hit it. So this is not good enough. And that separates good from world-class. So the world-class players, 7 times out of 10, they are finding their player. Sorry, they're finding their man with a decent pass. But Willian, far too many times he does this. And that's why, if you look at his records for Chelsea, he's got, in the 4 seasons he's been with us, he's only got, how many assists? 50 assists or something like that. And X amount of goals, because he does not produce at the business end when he has to. And there was a stat the other day, I think, when Gabriel Jesus scored to become the 3rd highest Brazilian. We've got Coutinho on that list. Coutinho's had 3 seasons less than Willian, but yet he still scored more goals than Willian. But yet some people say that Willian is class. So his contract runs out at the end of the season. He wants a 2-year contract. I think it's time to move on. I think we can do better. There's better players out there who can improve our squad. Right, now to the second half, and again we conceded just after half-time. It reminded me of when we were under Sarri, when we just always used to concede a couple of minutes into the second half. Christensen, once again, Christensen and Zuma have got to take the blame for this one. It was ridiculous. We had so many chances to clear the ball and we just couldn't get rid of the ball. Zuma had a chance. He knocked it up in the air. But Christensen once again showed his weakness when challenging for the ball for Calvin Lewis. Calvin Lewis isn't even the most physical player, but yet Christensen struggled with him. Doesn't this boy know how to jump? I don't know. He just allowed himself to get bullied. The VAR checked it, and obviously it wasn't a foul, because all it was that Calvin Lewis was physically stronger than him. He allowed himself to get bullied. Zuma as well, poor defending by him, who didn't deal with the ball when it came down, didn't anticipate the drop down, and Calvin Lewin comes to score the second goal. But we kind of get back into the game pretty much straight away, and good finish by Kovacic. Kovacic is now proven to be a bit of a goal scorer. First he got that first goal, but now he's doing well. But Kovacic deserves that goal because he was probably the only guy in our team today who deserved to come out with a victory. Because that guy once again put in a superb performance. He carried the team, and I felt sorry for him because, as I said, out of all the players in the blue shirt, Everton were in blue, but out of all the players in a black shirt today, Kovacic was the standout performer. Huffed and puffed again a little bit in the second half. Didn't really create a lot of clear-cut chances. We had that chance where Azpilicueta gave it to Mason Mount, where his shot was blocked and Azpilicueta it was a good save by the keeper. But again, cutting edge, guys. No cutting edge. We just were huffing and puffing. Mount had a chance, I think, with that curler, he totally mishit it. And even just the balls were just under hit or over hit. We just were just getting into these positions, but not doing anything else, don't doing anything with it. As I said before in another video, and I'll repeat it again, we need a player who's going to give us that X factor, that Eden Hazard type player. So when we start to look in the transfer market, don't get players who are just on a par or a little bit better than the ones that we've already got. Get someone who's going to make the difference. I know sometimes it's difficult, but wait. I prefer to wait for the right opportunity to come along and us to get a decent player than us just to get a player who's just a little bit above that level, because we need somebody who's going to, drag us through. With not only with the skill and ability, somebody with the right character, because our character is a bit flawed, because we still have yet to win a game when we've gone a goal down. I know, as I said, it's a young side, still fragile mentally, but we need the next phase for these players is to, when we're down in a game, is to claw our way back and get a victory. Once they start doing that, then they'll have passed that next phase of their career progression, because at the moment it's not happening. It's all well and good when things are going good for us, but when we need to drag out a result and get something positive, the guys are not stepping up. Third goal, Kepa. What is wrong with Kepa these days? Kepa was one of our better performers last year. This season, he is just having horror show after horror show. Under no pressure whatsoever, he kicks the ball straight to an Everton player. This guy was bought as a sweeper keeper. He was bought because he's good with the ball at his feet. Previous to this, he was making a lot of mistakes with his shots stopping. He wasn't very good. But in the last few games, we saw it against Valencia. We're lucky not to be punished against them, and we've seen it again today, where Kepa is not passing the ball properly, and he's knocked it straight to an Everton player, and that cost us the game as well, because at 2-1, Everton, you saw towards the end of the game, they were retreating, so we may even have spared to get an equaliser as they got more nervous. But Arrizabalaga said, you know what, I'll take some of the pressure off you guys and just pass it to an Everton player so you can score the goal and see the game out. Awful defending. And although it was, the players still had a lot to do, Calvin Lewis. The way that him and the substitute, what's his name, the ponytail guy, I can't remember his name. But the way that he walks through the defenders, Azpilicueta as well, what was he doing? He just let the guy walk through him, dangled a leg, not even a proper tackle. He just let him get through, and it's just embarrassing. And it went through his legs and through Kepa's legs as well. That's the sort of thing you used to see in the Sunday League football down Hackney Marshes or somewhere. It's not something you meant to see on a professional football field. And that's what's cost Chelsea all this season. Had we not had such a poor defence as a unit, a poor defensive unit, and conceded sloppy goals, and had we been more clinical at the top, we would be comfortably in, I reckon, second place at the moment, comfortably. But we are the masters of our own downfall with just stupid mistakes. Frank Lampard was fuming on the touchline. I can see why. But Frank, you got to take an L today as well, mate, because games are coming thick and fast. This is December. In December, there's you play about 8 or 9 games in December. So that means squad rotation, especially when we've got a young team. We've got a young team. With a young team, not only do they get more physically tired, they get mentally tired as well. Yeah. So what you need to do is to start rotating in this period and giving people a start. Pulisic today, he did some nice things, but you could see that he was a bit tired. Hudson-Odoi is waiting on the bench. Put him in. You played Christensen the other day. He wasn't great. He was okay. But Tomori's back. Put Tomori back in now. He's had a rest. Put him in. Why is Azpilicueta playing? Why is Azpilicueta allowed to make mistake after mistake after mistake? Because I was commending Frank earlier on in the season when I said that he doesn't care about reputations, he cares about form. Azpilicueta, when James came in, on the bench, Azpilicueta's form went up a bit, went up a notch. Then he probably thought, oh, I'm comfortable now, so his form has dipped. So James came in, but then what does he do? He brings back Azpilicueta because he can't really drop James. James was okay today. He couldn't drop James, but so what he's doing, he's accommodating Azpilicueta by moving him to the left. Yeah, and today, as I said, defensively on the left, it wasn't working for Azpilicueta. He did a couple of good things going forward, but he tends to try and come inside, and it's making Pulisic's life a lot harder because he's got no one on the overlap. I think there's only once or twice that I saw Azpilicueta go on the overlap, but most of the game he's making it easier for the Everton defenders, and Pulisic, they can double up on Pulisic because there's no one running down on the overlap to receive the ball. So come on, take a bold decision, put Emerson back in, or a proper left back. You know, Emerson was rested in the last game, so don't play the same team twice in a week, and that's what you get for that. So I think Lampard today has to take a fair share of the blame as well for this defeat, because if you look at Jurgen Klopp last week against Liverpool, against Everton, the same opponents. Who did he bring in a big Merseyside derby? Origi comes in to score 2 goals. Today, Mane, who was fantastic against Everton, he's on the bench. He's resting him. Yeah, so he's resting him to give, and he knows that they've got a few games, a lot of games. So he's resting some of his big players as well. So Lampard, you've got to learn. You've got to learn that you can't be playing these players 2 times in a week, especially when the games are coming thick and fast. We've got another game in the Champions League, a must-win game against Lille. So this is where you need squad rotation. So I can't wait for the window to open, as I said. We need a couple of players. The first player I'm looking for, if we can get a commanding centre-back, that's the first person profile that will be on my list. Commanding, tall, strong. Koulibaly is the one I want. Not sure if we can push that through, but he's that's the first. You know, I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at left back. Those 2 positions need to be strengthened. If we get those 2, our defence automatically upgrades, and we don't start giving away these silly goals. We lack height in the team. You know, a lot of people are talking about Ake. Ake's not tall enough for me. We need some height in the team because we're conceding too many from corners, from crosses, etc. So we need that height. We need that strength. We need that organisation, because if our defence is not sorted out, then I can't see us getting top 4. Tottenham won 5-0 today, I see. So they're going to only get stronger under Jose. So sort out that back line, sort out that clinical thing we need. We need someone with an X factor as well, who's going to give us that little bit of je ne sais quoi up front, who can turn tight games into victories. You can come and make that difference. You know, so as I said, don't know whether we can get that through in January or not, but if there are players available, we need to go all out to get them, because this could be the difference between top 4 and missing out on top 4. Sorry, it might be a bit long today. It's a bit of a rant, but obviously, as I said, we lost. I don't like when we lose. I've got a guy at work who's an Everton supporter. I'm not looking forward to seeing him on Monday. But such is life. Onwards and upwards. So anyone else want to come to Chelsea who's having a bad time? Oh yeah, we've got Bournemouth next. They're not doing well. So maybe you want that Christmas present from Chelsea too. So come to Chelsea. I'm sure that we'll knock you back into form. We'll give you a nice easy 3 points, Bournemouth, and we'll get you back to winning ways. So until the next video, I'll see you later.